This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, good morning. So yesterday we have seen like how to pull the images from the Docker Hub and how to create a sample container. Yesterday we have seen that. Okay. So now today let us try to create a container. We'll install some applications in it and we'll try to access it from outside and we'll see how we can do it. Okay. So let's take one example. Mm, Let me clean up all the things which I have. So Docker ps-a command will give you the running containers as well as stopped containers, whatever the state it is. Docker space ps command will give you only the running containers. It doesn't give you the stopped containers or whatever it is. Okay. Now, so if I want to print only the IDs of the container, like all the containers, then I need to give AQ or QA, whatever it is. Okay, so I'll write a some sample for loop in order to delete it automatically. Okay, so just see it for I in hyphen QA do Docker. In order to remove the containers, we have a command called rm. Okay, sometimes we need to forcefully remove it, some containers, like without stopping. If you want to delete directly, you need to give hyphen f. What is the correct procedure is nothing but stop the container, then remove the container. Okay, if you want to do forcefully stopping and removing the container, hyphen f. Okay, so in this case it is not required for us because they are already stopped. Okay, so docker rm, and here I need to get id, so dollar $i and then done. So you can see now my containers got deleted, all the containers. Okay, so this is the for loop command which I use. You can just let me give you. I'm giving the result as well as things. You can use it. Okay. So here it should be backticks. It came as a command. Okay. So just remember, you need to be like this backticks. You know what are the backticks, right? Below the escape button, you can see it. Okay. Or else we can give like this also. I'll give you another method. Uh, then you can give like this. Or we can give like this also. This is a small script which I have written bash script. Okay. Sometimes. Okay, so you can use these commands in order to delete the containers automatically. This is a for loop script, bash script which I have written. Okay, on the terminal itself. Now, okay, so now what I'm trying to do is like I have images called Ubuntu images. I have two images. One is Ubuntu 14.04 and one is Ubuntu latest. Okay, so these are the two images which I have. One image is 188 MB and other image is 84.1 MB. Okay, now I want to create a container. I will log into it and I will do whatever I will install certain applications and we'll see how to access that particular applications from outside. Okay, so Docker, okay, run, okay, hyphen I just want to log in directly. Okay, I don't want to create the container and throw it in the background in the running state. I just want to immediately log into the container. So that's the reason I gave hyphen ti. Okay, hyphen t for terminal, tty terminal. Hyphen I is nothing but interactive mode. See, either I can give like this also. There are two different options, but I clubbed together. Okay. After this, let us say I want to give some name to my container. Name in the sense just to display the name. When you execute docker ps command or docker ps-a command, uh, there is a last column called name. So that is the name which you want to display like this. Let us say here I have virtual box, right? Virtual machines. So virtual machines, I gave some names. Okay, so these names I'm trying to assign through containers. This is called as here we need to here also it is called as name. Okay, that is what. Let's say like I will give my name. Okay, and then I have host name. Host name is nothing but the name which you assign to the server. Okay, in order to reach to the server, either we can use IP address or a host name. See, let us say I want to transfer the data from one mission to another mission. So what you need to have to whichever server you want to transfer the data, that particular server's IP address you need to have. Okay, or we need to have the host name if it is reachable, like www.google.com, www.facebook.com. These are the host names. Okay, so similar to that, my host name of the server, I'm assigning some name inside name to my server so that I can reach to that particular server using this name. Okay, this name and this name is different. This is the display name of your container. This is the host name of your container. Host in the sense the server. Okay, let us say um, test dot ubuntu server dot tld. Just I gave the fully qualified domain name. Okay, and then now I need to give hyphen p. Hyphen p is nothing but port forwarding. Port forwarding in the sense the port which is present on the physical machine will be binded to the port which is running on the container so that you can access the application from outside also. See, the container is assigned with an IP address called private IP. You cannot access from outside. Okay, I will create a container without any access from outside. We'll see how we can achieve this. Okay, so now I need to give the name of the image. Beautiful. Now we can say I logged in. You can see the host name. Okay. You can see the IP address. You can see the IP
The
address. What is it?
the host
172
name
dot. Yeah.
the host name should be where we need to run this container, or we can give any host name.
It's up to you. See, host name can be anything, whatever you want to assign. Okay. So that you can communicate to the server with the host name also. Okay.
Okay.
See, it is a general host name, right? See, if I exit from this, what is the host name of my physical server? See, this is my host name. My container host name is I have assigned this one. Test.ubuntu server.tld. Okay.
Okay, got it.
So now we can see it is up. 1 minute. So let's log into this. Okay. I told you yesterday there are two methods, right? One method is Docker attach and the container ID or a name. Okay, you can see the name, how it is getting displayed. Okay. So this is just to identify the container, what it is. Okay. So that by looking at the name of the container, you can understand for what reason you have created this container. Okay. So that is a display name. Okay. So the second method is exec, okay, hyphen ti container ID, or I can give name, okay, then bash. You can see. This is second method in order to log into your container. Okay. One is Docker attach and the container ID. Okay. And the second method is Docker exec hyphen ti. In the sense you are looking for a terminal with interactive mode. Sudham says my container ID or name, and the bash in the sense you want to log into the container with the bash terminal. So that's the reason I gave bash. Okay, so this is the bash terminal. Okay, if you give echo, you can see it is a bash. Okay, so this is how. So now let us try to install something. Okay, so I have the IP address. So this IP address is not reachable from browser. Let's see how it is. Get. I am installing Apache Web Server, or you can install Nginx, or you can install Tomcat, whatever you want, according to the Ubuntu operating system 14.04.
So the IP address for this container, how is it assigned?
I will tell you. Yeah, that is what we need to discuss today, right? So now the Apache Web Server has been installed. Let us check the service whether it is running or not. Okay, service Apache 2 and then status. So now this service is not running. So let's get started. Start. Okay, so now the service got started. You can see the status once again. Now Apache 2 is running. Okay, if I give curl hyphen capital I localhost, okay, curl is not available. Okay, I will install. Curl is one of the command. It's one of the tasks which we can do is like you can check the website whether it is working or not. Since this container doesn't have any browser, right, in order to access. Okay, you can see I'm getting 200 okay in the sense my website is working fine. Okay, or else I can give the IP address of my container. What is it? 172.17.0. What is IP? 2. You got the result. So it's working fine. Now, if I give the same IP in my browser, it will not be reachable because it's a private IP. Okay, so I'm not able to access to this particular application which is running in the container. Okay, so what I can do? Okay, the best method is let's come out of this. Okay, but my physical server, this is, let us assume this is my physical server or virtual machine, whatever it is. My virtual machine IP address is reachable, right? At least I can reach to my virtual machine. Okay, so I want to bind the port number of my virtual machine, in the sense my server, my host machine, port number, host machine in the sense where you have installed Docker. Okay, so on the host machine, I want to allocate one port to a container. I want to bind it to the container so that if I access the host IP address with the port number of the host, I need to get the application which is running in the container. Okay, that method is called as port forwarding in Docker. You can see still it is browsing. Okay, I think here I don't have anything. So nothing available here. Oh, it is 56. I'm trying to see is there any application. Okay. Now let's try to do port forwarding or binding, whatever it is. But remember one point, once a container is created, you cannot apply the port forwarding. Okay, you need to create a new container. Only port forwarding is not allowed in order to update once the container is already created. Okay, so that's the reason we need to be careful while creating a container. Okay, it's just simple. We can delete the container immediately and we can create within fraction of second. Okay, so let's try to create. Let's try to delete this. I want to delete this actually. See, it is in running state. If I give only rm command, see what will happen. It will give you a warning saying that you cannot remove the running container. Stop the container before attempting removal or force removal. Okay. So if I try to give -f force, you can see it got deleted because forcefully I'm trying to delete it. Okay. So now I'm trying to create a container with the same previous command. Just I'm adding a functionality called -p, which is called as port forwarding or port binding. So on the host machine, I want to bind a port number called 8080 to my 80 port, which is running in the container. Okay. Okay. Once it is created, just follow the same method to install. Okay. Don't be confused because the previous container deleted. Again, I need to start from starting. Okay. Update. I need to install the pack. It's a new container, right? Now if I give. Okay. Now start. Let's start. My IP address of my host machine colon 8080 is the port number. You can see this is the application which is running in the container. If you want to show the proof, let me try to do one thing. This is a container, okay? I'm still in a container. You can see. Now you understood, right? So in order to access the applications which are running in the container, now in the Docker engine, okay, what I have done, I have binded the port of the host machine to my container so that if I access the IP address of my host machine with that particular port, it will communicate to the container which is running in the background and it will pick the application. Okay, so that's how I'm able to access. Any questions in this? This is important actually. Okay. Similarly, we can add n number of port forwarding. Okay. It doesn't mean that I need to give only one option -p here. If you want to bind another ports, you can give -p once again and you can do it. Okay. Any questions in this? No? Fine. So we have seen what is port binding and all. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let us discuss something about networking. Okay, how you are able to get this automatic IP address to my containers. Okay, from where it is trying to pick the IP address. So when you install Docker for the first time, it it will create an interface on the host machine called Docker 0. If you want, you can log into your machine where you have installed Docker and then execute a command called IP space A command, and you will see the interface called Docker 0. This is created when you install your Docker package. Okay, so this interface get created. This is called as bridge interface. Okay, the Docker, this is Docker 0 is like is default bridge interface created when we have installed Docker engine on the machine, the host machine. Okay, this is the statement. Okay, Docker Zero interface is the bridge interface created when we installed Docker engine on the host machine. Okay, so that is where when it got created. Okay, now so what from this it is trying to allocate one IP address to your Docker containers. Okay, containers are getting the IP address from here. One is nothing but the first IP is allocated to this interface because it is acting as a gateway. Okay, to be simple, how it acts like when do sometimes you will be working on a root user, or else we need to work with a different user. Okay, so they don't give a root access. Just a second. Okay. So now we are talking about something like so it's like Docker. Let me increase the size. Okay, Docker engine. Okay, something we are talking about. So what we are trying to understand is so in this Docker engine, by default, when you install Docker, it will create an interface called Docker 0, that is bridge interface. Not only that, it has totally three different kinds of network which is created in the background. First one is okay, bridge. Okay, bridge, and then next is host. Okay, and then the third one is none. Okay, so these are the default three networks which are available for your Docker engine. If you want to create, that is like user defined bridge network, we can create user defined bridge or host, you can create it. Okay, so how to verify that this networks are available in my Docker machine engine or not? So that you can verify with the command called docker network less command. Okay, so this will display the total number of networks you have created. Okay, this is the id which is generated in random. This is the name of the network, and this is the driver which we are using in order to achieve this functionality. Okay, so that is a driver. And the scope of local, in the sense it is available only within the server, you cannot access from outside. The IP address or the network which we have created, this can be accessible only within the server, not from outside. That's the reason it is called as local. Okay, so then host, in the sense this is the name of the network, host is a driver, and local once again. None, in the sense you don't get any network if you assign this network. In the sense you don't get any interface apart from loopback interface. And the scope is local. I'll explain why, when to use bridge, when to use host, and when to use null. Okay, let us say I want to create a container. Okay, I need to get internet connectivity and all, but I don't want to access my application which is running in the container from outside. Okay, directly. Okay, without port forwarding. Okay, so then I need to go for bridge interface. Okay, and if I want to communicate from one particular container to another container and all, and I want to launch all the containers to the specific bridge and all, then I need to use bridge network. What is host? Host, in the sense whatever the network is present in the host machine, if you want to have this entire network in your container, then we need to use host. This is like no need to give a separate IP address. Directly it will get this IP address to your host machine. This IP address, this IP address, this IP address and all. Okay. So in the container, there is no need of using port forwarding when you use host network. Directly we can access the application which is running in the container directly with this IP address. Okay. So that is advantage of it. But we should not allow this host network for a container. This is nothing but he is able to access the IP address, right? Directly we can access the application where he will get full privileges. Okay, so that will create a problem when you use host network. So we need to use only when it is recommended. Okay, when it is mandatory to use the host network. Okay, or else we should not use it. Okay, when there is no other choice for your application, then we need to go for host network. Host network, in the sense whatever the network is present in host, that will be assigned to the container. Okay, if you create a container, he will get the same network. Okay, none, in the sense I want to create a container with no network, like any IP address like 172.17.0.34, whatever it is. Okay, I don't want to create any interface except loopback, that is 127.0.0.1. Except that will be created by default. It is created by a software. We can't do anything. Okay, so I want to create a container without any network, then I need to go for none. Okay, that is the three different networks we have by default. You cannot delete this network. Okay, so if I want to create a new network, so what I need to do? Okay, if I want to create a network that which is called as user defined network. Okay, so then what I need to do? Okay, so let's do that. Docker
Both bridge and
network.
host can be accessible from outside world, right?
No, no, we cannot. So you need to use a functionality called port forwarding, right? If I want to access the application from outside, what I have done, I used a port forwarding. Without port forwarding, I'm not able to access because my container IP is 172.17.0.2. So I cannot go to the browser and access it. It's a private IP.
Okay. So I'm just confused in the port forwarding, so I thought to ask,
Okay.
but
See,
in the
port forwarding, in the sense my containers application need to be accessed from outside. Okay. So when I use bridge network, the bridge network is created with a private IP. Okay. So then what I'm trying to do, my host IP address with a port number, some random port number, I'm binding it to the container port so that if in the browser, if I give my host IP address with port number, it will communicate to the backend container and it will pull the application which is running with that particular port which you have binded. Okay, so that is called as port forwarding when you use bridge network. When you use host network, it is not required to use port forwarding because a direct IP is assigned. Host network is assigned to your container. Whatever the network is present in the host, that will be visible in the container also.
Okay. So where did you get the port number of that container?
See, that is like by default it is. See, when you install Apache Web Server will be running with a port number called 80. By default it is. Some port numbers are predefined. No need to check because I have done plenty of times. I know Apache Web Server will be running on 80 port number. Tomcat will be running on 8080 port number. SH will be running on 22 port number. So there are predefined port numbers. Few port numbers are predefined.
Yes, yes, yeah.
You got it right.
Yep.
What I told.
Yes.
Okay, so I know, so that's a reason. See, this port number I can use a random port number on the host machine. So this port number I binded it to the container where my Apache web server will be running on 80 port number. So when I enter this particular IP address with this port number, it will I have binded with 80, right? So it will communicate to that particular container and then it will search for 80 port number, what application it is running, and then it will display here.
Okay. No, no, yeah, I'm just confused that I thought 8080
Okay.
is the port number of that container. How did it
No, no,
generate?
no,
Oh,
no, no,
80 is
no.
port
It's a
number.
host machine
Found. Yeah,
of
yeah.
the host machine. So I took one random port number 8080, or you can take 9090, or total port numbers we can use in a Linux system is 65,535 port numbers. This is the max limit we have. You can use any one of the port number. Okay. So this is all about your port forwarding and all. Okay. So now I want to create my own bridge network or whatever it is. Let us say I ran into a situation that in real time they have developed an application, but they want to run that particular application on a fixed IP address. They want only that particular IP address. Let us say that IP address is 10.10.0.10. That is what they want to run that particular application. So how I can achieve this? First of all, I don't have a network which is having that particular CIDR value with that particular network. Okay. So then what I need to do? I need to create a network. It is up to you whether you want to create a bridge or host or whatever it is. Only we can create a bridge. That is the only possibility we have. That is the best solution we have. Okay. So I need to create it. So in order to create, I don't know what command I need to use after this. So just use help. Okay. So here there is an option called create. Okay. We have connect, disconnect, inspect, ls we have already seen, prone, and then we have rm. Rm is just to remove the network. Okay. But we need to be careful whether is a container launched with that particular network or not. If it is not launched, then we can delete directly, or else it will give you a warning. Okay. And remember, if I try to delete a network which is predefined, which is already created by Docker, you cannot do that. Let us say bridge. It is saying like error. Response from daemon. Bridge is a predefined network and cannot be removed. Okay. These are like predefined networks. You cannot remove it. Even though if you use -f also forcefully. Okay. That's one thing we need to remember. So now we need to use Docker network. If you don't know the command, just use tab create. Then you don't know the option which I need to pass here. Okay. Can someone tell me which option I need to use in order to uh, get with that particular CIDR value? I want to create a network with the CIDR value called 10.10.0.0/24. This is the CIDR which I need to use. So which option I need to use in order to create the network? What are the important options I need to use here?
Config only.
Which one? No, no, no,
Config only.
no, no.
IP range strings.
No. IP range in the sense, let us say you can set a limit saying that from this IP, only from this IP you can use it. Range of the IP address you want to allocate. This is the one we need to use. Subnet. Okay. And by default, the bridge, by default, bridge will be created. Okay. So no need to specify. We are trying to create a bridge network. And if you want to have a IP range, then we need to give this option. Okay. Let us say out of this out of this CIDR value, let us say 0.0/24. Okay. From this, I want to use a range called 10.10.0.20 to range I am talking about 10.10.0.40. This is the only range which I want to use for my bridge network which I am trying to create. Then we need to give this one range and gateway. If you want to set a gateway on your own, hyphen gateway, and you need to set gateway. Gateway, let us say 10.10.0. First IP address, right? So 1. Okay. So this is what I do. So let's try to create it. Okay. So Docker network create, okay, hyphen what is it? Subnet. Let us say 10.10.0.0/24. Okay. I want to use gateway. I don't want to use IP range. Okay. Gateway 10.10.0.1. Okay. At last you need to give the name whatever you want to use. Okay. Now the network got created. How will you see that? Docker network ls command. Now you can see the bridge network has been created with your own network. But you are not able to see whether it is created with the same network which I gave or not. For that, you need to check inspect. Inspect in the sense, see the details of the network. So how will you see the details of the network? Docker network inspect. What is the name of the network I have created? Sudams. You can see the details. It is a JSON format, JSON output. Okay. So here we can see the name, ID, created, scope is local, bridge. Okay, IPv6 is disabled. Okay, and this is the subnet, and this is the gateway. So whatever I have mentioned, it got created with the same network. Okay, so no need to worry about it. So when there is a container launched with this particular network, it will display under this section. Okay, if you want to see whatever the containers are created with that particular network, then you need to go for this particular output. So we need to give the network name so that inspect, so it will display the details of that particular network. Okay. Now let's try to launch a container with the specific IP address called 10.10.0.10, which I told you before. Okay, with this network. By default, if you don't specify anything, it will create with this particular bridge network. I want to create with this particular Sudam's network right now. So what I need to do? So let's see. Docker run -ti -name. Let's say like then -net. Which one you want to use network? That is Sudams. And then I want to use a specific IP address. So the option is -IP. In this network, I want to use a specific IP. Okay. So that is 10.10.0.10. Okay. At last you can give your image. Okay. Now you can see the container got created. So if I give hostname, you can see the hostname is created. And then if I give IP address, IP space A command, you can see you got the specific IP address. Whatever I have mentioned, see if I don't give this option, right, it would have given the second IP, that is 10.10.0.2. But I got a specific IP address which I have mentioned. Okay. So this is how we can create a container with a specific IP address from a specific network. Okay. From which network you want to allocate the IP address, we need to give the network first and then IP. From this network, we are giving this particular IP address, fixed IP address. Any question in this? Gateway is not required. See, gateway is like by default it is. If you don't assign allocate also, it will take a gateway. Okay. No need to give. See, I can communicate to outside also. How you will verify it? APTF and get update. Since I don't have ping command. See, I'm able to connect to the internet because I'm not getting an error, right? So it is trying to connect to the Ubuntu repositories, which is outside. Any questions, guys, in this? Any question in this? I hope it is clear. Fine. So this is the context you can see now. On the port section, I got this particular details. The previous one I'm talking about. Okay, it is created 24 minutes ago, right? So this is how it will show you. Any IP address on the host machine with this particular port will be redirected to the container of 80 port. The protocol is TCP protocol, transmission control protocol. Okay, you know what is TCP, UDP protocols. Okay, ping will use ICMP protocols and all. Okay, so now, yeah, so Docker network LS. Okay, now we have other options called connect, disconnect, and all. So create we have seen. What are the things we have? Inspect we have seen. LS command we have seen. RM commands we have seen. So only three options which are left are nothing but connect, disconnect, and prone. So let us go to the connect. Connect in the sense, let us say I have a container. I want to have one IP address from this network and one IP address from this network. So totally for a container we have two interfaces. If any one of the interface is down, you can get the traffic from the second interface. So I want to maintain two interfaces with two different networks, bridge networks. So then I want to attach a new network to my running container. So let's see how to do that. Docker network. We have already seen this particular container which is having an IP address of this particular network. Okay, now I want to allocate this particular network to my same container. Okay, so that it will be acting as a second interface. Docker network connect. Connect, you need to give the network name, which network you want to add, that is bridge, to which container, that is this particular container. Now if you log into the container, Docker attach. Okay, now you can see there will be two interfaces. One interface is already available, second interface is 172.17.0.3. Okay, so this is how for a running container you can attach a number of interfaces. Okay, for that we need to use a command called docker connect. This is the command which this is nothing but the network name and this is the container name. Okay, now if I do disconnect, let us say I want to remove the let us say I will remove this one. Previously we have created a container with this network. Now I have added this particular network additionally. Now I want to remove this particular network. Okay, let's see how to do that. So it is disconnect, disconnect, and the network name, that is WAMPS. Now if you log into the container once again, you can see the first interface got deleted, second interface is available. Still I will be able to ping to the internet because it is connected to one of the bridge. Okay, so this is how the advantage of using multiple interfaces to a container. I can anytime I can attach and anytime I can remove it. Okay, so that is the advantage we have in connect and disconnect. Okay, Those are the only options we have. Okay, that is what we can do. So this option can be used only when you use user-defined network. For a predefined network, you cannot use this option. Okay, that is what. Mm, yeah. The last option which we need to see is prone. Prone is nothing but it will remove the unused networks. Let us say, see from this, I have created this particular bridge network, okay, which I have created. Now, if no one is using this particular network, if none of the container is created with this network, if I use Docker network prone and enter, it will remove this particular network because none of them is using this network. So it will remove. So that is the meaning of it. Remove all unused networks, in the sense when there is a network which is not used by anyone, then it will remove it. Okay. So the command is docker network. It will ask you a confirmation why. So now you can see deleted networks are nothing but Sudham's. This got deleted because none of them is using it. Okay. So that is why it got deleted. So these are the options which we have in Docker. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, from your side, your task is nothing but I will give you a question. Create a container with none network and later attach a network to the same container in running state. Okay, this is the question. So try to resolve it. Okay. Create a container with none network. Okay, and later attach a new network to the same container in a running state. Okay, see whether you can do it or not. Hope you understood this question. If not, you can raise a concern. Did you understood or not? Second question is, if it is done, okay. So this is the second question which I have. So try to resolve these two questions. Then you will understand the network concept. Any questions? If not, we can wind up the class. And tomorrow we'll come up with a new features, like we will try to understand each and every option we have in Docker. So we have these many options, right? So let's try to start from here. Okay, attach, build and commit we'll discuss later, because first I need to tell you a topic before using these options. We'll come with attach, cp, create, diff, events, exec, export history. Let us try to cover all these options and we'll understand when to use what. Okay, So these are the things. Maybe tomorrow and day after tomorrow we can wind up this particular options, all the options, and from after that we will be discussing about Docker file and converting your container into image. We'll see both the options. By this weekend we will complete Docker. Okay, and then we'll come into the next topic. Guys, please respond. At least say something like whether you got it or not,
Yeah.
so that I can understand. Hope so. I hope you understood these two questions, right? So try to resolve it and tell me if you are facing some issues or if you're not able to get the point when you're trying to execute it. Okay, I'll try to explain. Okay, but try to practice or try to resolve these answers so that you will understand what kind of scenario we can use. Okay, for the network concept. Okay, so thank you. Thanks a lot. So tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. Okay, bye. Did you have any kind of material to theoretical part? This is what I, this is the general thing. See, this is the official document which we follow. Everybody has to follow it. So clearly it is explained here. Okay. Each and every concept which I have explained here, it is covered here itself. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. So we'll meet tomorrow and we'll continue from the next topic. Okay. See you.